right, welcome back to the RCKids podcast. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
Peachy as always.
All right, I am Pastor Sam. Who else do we have with us today?
Amy Farrow.
Joshua Morgan.
All right, and we are back, and it's the end of the summer already, huh?
No.
I'm ready.
Nope.
It's been an interesting summer where it's been very rainy
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and wet, and in Pittsburgh, at least, we haven't experienced this type of summer in a while. The grass keeps growing.
Way
and
too
bushes
much.
and
And
hedges.
it's even cool. It's not.
And
hasn't been very
humid,
warm.
and we sound really negative to start out, but we have a lot of good things to talk about. So we are going to talk about our culture translator segment, and we have some fun things to talk about there. We'll talk a little bit about my trip to Guatemala. And then one of our main topics today, we'll be talking about just living on mission. We're talking about our discipleship process. We've been doing that as a church. And we'll be talking about how can families live on mission. And then we'll talk about some things that are coming up in RC Kids over the next few months. And we will end with our recommendations. All right, let's start with our culture translator segment. Of course, this is just an opportunity for us to have some fun and talk about some trends happening in the culture, some things that kids are talking about, whether it's teenagers or younger kids, they're talking about, and us as parents or us as leaders, we want to be a little bit aware of these trends or some of the lingos that the kids are learning. Like, I don't have a specific word for the cultural translator segment for this one, but is there any like new words you guys have learned this summer from your kids or from movies or anything?
I know with David talk, and I'm starting to catch up, and this might be old, but I'm just now catching on to it, where they use the term like Sigma or stuff like that. That's, and I still don't quite understand it, but they'll say like, David, you're Sigma or something like that. And I'm like,
What is that? Like, what is that supposed to mean?
at least this is my thought, is like, you're really awesome, or you're like the alpha dog or something like, I don't know.
Okay.
But that's, I'm kind of like becoming like the old man. Like, I'll hear them say like, hey, are you allowed to be saying that? And like, they'll be like, yeah, it's okay, Dad. It's not bad. I'm like, you promise it's not bad, because somebody's in trouble.
Yeah.
I probably should do my due diligence on some of that stuff, but that's what I'm hearing.
I learned from Jeremy, the youth pastor of taupe. The color.
Huh.
Well, it's similar to mid, which is like mid-range, like not so great. But it's because like the color taupe is like meh. So
I actually like that.
yeah, I know. I know. I was like, okay. And that one apparently is used pretty regularly. So.
Do they say that as a mean way? Is that like
that's taupe?
That's
like,
okay.
Yeah. It's probably very similar to mid, but I don't know. I don't know entirely, but I felt good to know something. Jeremy knows them, so it was good to hear from him.
One thing that's still kind of old, but it's like, I don't know if it's like popular again, but I've been hearing like kids say "unk" a lot.
Yeah, that is coming back.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you-
it's
Amy, do you know what that means?
No.
Oh, so you haven't heard? Okay.
No.
If a kid calls you "unk," you're just old.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, okay.
I don't know if it's like a
Across the board.
certain age range of old, like are you 40s old or 50s old or whatever, but yeah, maybe it was in a movie, or I thought I heard it in like a movie that we saw. I don't know if it was Spider-Man or something, and then the kids started like using it more. So it feels like it. I felt like it's been there for a while, but like this summer, it's like, it's a little bit stronger for whatever reason.
Okay.
A couple episodes ago, we talked about there was like those toys, the squishy toys,
Oh,
or
right.
whatever. Have you seen this trend of the dumplings? Have you seen this?
No.
No.
So Jerry's been showing me these videos, and my understanding is you can buy them like anywhere now. Like their toy stores, even gas stations have them and stuff. And they come in this like little plastic. It looks like a little like steam basket, like rice steam basket thing. And in it is these gel dumplings. And there's all these reaction videos. Apparently, if you get one that's like, I guess has glitter in it, it's like a big deal. Like, people like lose their mind.
Yeah, these like squish things, right?
It has like a little happy face on it, and like it's a big deal. Like, so Jerry's like, "Oh man, I need one of those," and I'm like, "Why do you need that?" And he's like, "Because I need one." And the thing is what I'm like realizing is like if you don't get a glitter one, it's just like whatever. So it's like a throwaway toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spend the $10 on it, and if it's not the glittery, sparkly,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what a way to get people so amped up, and like your kid gets like, and just
There's
like
some things
it's like-
I am so glad my kids are homeschooled. They
Oh,
don't
man.
know of these things, and I hope they don't get into it.
It's like a YouTube thing. You're supposed to record your kid opening their dumpling basket. So if they say they want whatever that is, just say no, because most of it is a waste of money. But
Well, I have a few for you guys, and usually I do give you some like implication of what
Yeah.
we're going to talk about, but I'm going to surprise you today and just get some instant reaction. So the first one, I think you're all going to really like this. But the first trend is hoodie mania. Like for me, that I just love hoodies, so
Me too.
that sounds really good, and it is what you think it is. What it says is that college campus visits, summer camps, sports teams, vacations, concerts, all these different things, like they, if they offer some type of souvenir, and we even see that in our kids' baseball tournament. If you won a championship, the kids got hoodies.
yeah,
Okay.
So like hoodies are a big trend where we're seeing actually like they're saying hoodies are the new t-shirt. But the difference between hoodies and t-shirts is, they're not cheap.
no.
So like big brand, like fashion brands, they're making like $100 hoodies and people are buying them. So, but can we agree but hoodies are awesome?
I love
Yeah.
hoodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never, it was like never like hoodie was like a kind of like an off day type of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like they're making their way into like the office space, and it's like more like a casual thing, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, like I would if my perfect weather would be just to wear shorts and a hoodie.
You're so
Like-
from Pittsburgh. That is like literally the same. That's like Pittsburgh outfit right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. If I could wear shorts and hoodies, and like with the option of taking the hoodie off, it gets too hot. But if it like is comfortable, like that's heaven right there. Yeah. But are you good with like a hoodie, like with a hood, or like the more like the I don't know what that is, sweatshirt.
Just
It doesn't
a
have a
sweatshirt,
hood.
Yeah.
Like are those both good, or just hoodies is
What?
just
The
the thing?
sweatshirt. That's not a hoodie.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
different.
They're
They're
different.
different,
They're
but I mean like
different.
comfort level.
Yeah.
Like, does it matter?
I think I actually use hoodies and the hood, but that's usually because I mean in the past I've been at like a hockey rink every day, and
Right.
that your ears are cold. Always the question's been, do you get a zip up or a pullover?
Oh.
And I'm a hair guy. No offense, Sam. But I don't like using pullover ones because it messes with my hair.
Yeah.
And so I'm always looking for a good zip up hoodie, and it's like actually a hard thing to find.
Yeah,
It's like
they
a
don't
good-
make them the same. They don't
No.
feel the same
no.
Yeah.
like comfort level. And I feel like hoodies are always looser.
Yeah.
And then if you're getting a sweatshirt, it's more fitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the half zip ones?
Yeah. That was kind of like a thing there for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Are they? Do they still
So
have that style?
for Morovo, for our gateway basketball, our coach last year, and they gave us like they said they're getting us like coaching hoodies. I'm like, yeah, this is great, but they gave me a half zip one.
Did it
And
And
have
it
a
was just,
hood
it didn't
on?
have a hood.
With
No,
the-
it was just
no
a,
hood. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. No, that's not a hoodie.
That's-
That's like that's just a pullover jacket.
But they called it a sweatshirt.
They called it a sweatshirt,
Yeah,
or
they
the-
called it a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So,
would
but
say-
I think it's all about comfort. Like those are just like comforting, and that's why I don't love the zipper, because it's not like I want something that I could wear outside to something, but I could take a nap and snuggle, and that zipper kind of like it's not
I
that
think
comfy.
like the headache of like taking off a hoodie, like especially like around people, like if you're like trying to like take it off and like
How
people
hard
get-
is it?
yeah.
If
People-
if
and
you're
then people
just
get more-
listening to this, Josh is trying to take off his hoodie.
And like
yeah.
people get more of a view of the dad bod than they want to.
Yeah.
So, especially around like kids and stuff. They're like, man, that guy's a weirdo, struggling and stuff. So that's why the zipper is just convenient.
Yeah,
and,
that
you
makes.
know,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
But that's, I'll say this: the boys in some of their hockey teams, that the hoodie was a big deal, and they throw you out at the beginning of the season. Now, this was like last year, or the year before, was team hoodies, and it was
Okay.
kind of on that line of like, hey, here's a hoodie, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever, $30-$40. No, it was like $80, and it was like, get their name on it, get their number on it, and it's like, you can't be the one kid to not have it.
Yeah.
So,
That's
it's
rough.
I love t-shirts because
Yeah.
even like a customized t-shirt, you're still at like $30-$40. So
Yeah.
So I've experienced that. I've experienced the full hoodie experience. So
Well, it's school's about to start, back to school shopping and everything, do not spend $100 on your kid's hoodie for school.
Yes,
You can
leave
look.
it there.
We have enough technology
Yeah.
today that you could take, like, you can make the hoodie and it'll look like a good brand, you know,
Yes.
like a store bought brand. So, or just go to Target. That's fine too. It'll
So
work.
hoodie mania, is it just wearing hoodies all the time? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Or, and I think the
Was that
the
the
thing
term? Did I
was,
say it right?
yeah, hoodie mania, and it's the fact that how expensive they're getting and people are
Oh, that
okay
makes
with it.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not okay with it, but
Yeah.
Well, the second one is really interesting. So the second trend that's happening is the current owners of MySpace announced that they plan to relaunch
heard about this.
the classic
What?
social media platform, though they did not say when. So MySpace, everybody here has had a
No.
MySpace
Yes.
before?
Yes.
Yes.
You remember having your little song on there? That was the
Your
way to do
song,
it.
Yeah.
your top
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, top.
That caused so much drama.
Yeah.
MySpace is, whoa, that was like way better than Facebook and all that. Like that was, yeah. Every once in a while, I still see if I could find my MySpace.
I haven't. No, I don't
Mine's
want
gonna
to
look a
see
little
it.
emo if you go back. Mine's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't know if we want everybody to look back at
Oh, no.
No. I saw that they were doing that, and it's gonna be non-algorithm. So you're actually gonna see your friends
Oh, man.
posting stuff like we're like Facebook and
Yeah.
Twitter and all, or X, I guess what it's called now, or what all of them, they're all like pushing algorithms. So you're getting advertisements.
Yeah.
This will literally just be your friends and family's stuff, which
Okay.
I think is a good thing.
Yeah, that
It's
would be
just-
good.
I think.
That's the point of
Yeah.
what original point of it was.
Yeah. So
Stay in contact with people you know.
I wonder what would be, what's a good thing for MySpace coming back, and what would be a really bad thing for the culture that we live in right now.
I think people are just already too in tune to their social media.
Yeah.
Do we
Um,
need more of that
yeah,
in
I
our
think-
lives?
Yeah. I think it's.
I think even like Facebook is cool because it can be neutral. You can just make a posting, but whenever you had that theme song on for your post, like people would like sometimes like you're wondering, like, forget about the top 10 list, okay? Just the song. Sometimes you're like, are they talking about me? Right? In the drama. There was this one song that I really liked. And there was this girl like in high school, I guess maybe it was high school or something, that I was dating, and then I ended things. And then she knew I really liked this song, but it was like this like bad breakup song. And so as soon as I went on her MySpace page, I knew she was talking to me, and she ruined the song forever for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
that's minimal drama, but I think like now there's like it could get in some ugly situations of people playing some songs like you're talking about me,
this is for
right?
you,
It's
yeah.
gonna
What was the song? If you
I
don't.
don't. It's not bad. It was just a Vanessa Carlton song. So don't label me.
Do you remember, Amy, what was on yours?
I do not. I just remember there being drama. There's a lot of like you could write paragraphs like where
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like more info, and
Yeah.
then the top number
Yeah, you're talking.
friends was
I don't
that
want
was
that.
important.
I don't want
No,
that again. I think that's a good way to.
I think I try to play safe and like just put like as family members.
Yeah.
To try to, because you can't
yeah.
can't get too much drama with that. But yeah, no.
Hopefully
that
they
was-
remove that part. That's a good way to start some drama right there, especially for
Yeah.
kids in school, man. If you don't,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
that's rough. That was
Yeah.
rough. My song was Dashboard Confessionals. That was one mine.
I
Told you that was a different era of life for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Yeah, I can't remember. I always just change it up. It was just according to the mood, and I just love going on my page and hearing my song.
That's funny.
You know. So
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll see if and when that all comes back. That should be very interesting, and we'll probably love it, and our kids will probably hate it.
That's what I'm wondering.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be the
kids
biggest
gonna-
thing.
Are the kids going to adapt to it? That's what I'm wondering. Because, I mean, I try to keep I keep my younger boys off of it, but David's getting to that age where social media is becoming like a reality, and I'm like, I haven't opened that door up to him yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think the kids need another avenue of putting their life out there. I just don't think it's needed. But
Yeah, MySpace was kind of like the gateway drug to
Yeah.
everything is bad right now.
yeah,
It
right?
was.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always think like on social media too, people go out there and they say things they normally wouldn't say in person. So it's one more avenue for them to go, and like people vent on social media, and I'm like, if I saw you in person, you wouldn't say this in
Yeah.
person. Like
Yes.
you're a lot tougher behind your
Mhm,
your computer
mhm.
screen. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think we need one more avenue. I love freedom of speech. I love all that stuff. Say what you got to say, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a couple more. So, according to the Wall Street Journal, this summer's hottest drink is, what do you think?
Hottest drink?
Yeah.
As in
The best
coolest?
drink, the coolest, the most popular drink.
Oh man,
I don't even know where to go.
Prime.
That's a good guess. No, I would say Body Armor.
Oh yeah,
That's
a lot of kids.
popular
Yeah,
one.
body armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is actually a bottle of water. That's what they said. Water has been the hottest drink in the summer. I don't, has that picked up? Has your kids been wanting more water?
I mean, that's just a normal thing.
We just give them water.
Everybody drinks water. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever shared this before. Like years ago, when I was probably a teenager, I remember buying a bottle of water, and my grandmother saw me buy a bottle of water, and she's like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh, no, it's just what." Like, I don't know if you remember, like they would come in like the glass bottle. It was kind of cool. I think it was like Voss or something like that,
Yeah.
glass bottle.
Fancy bottle.
And she's like, "Why would you pay money for that?" And I was like, "I don't know. That's just what we do or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm just buying a bottle of water." And she's like, "The idea that somebody came up with putting water in a bottle and is selling it was so baffling to her that
Right.
this is a
Yeah.
thing."
Yeah.
And people go crazy for it.
Right.
Cases of water. And she's like, "You have free water right there." And I'm like,
Right.
I don't
I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, I feel like we were trained not to drink right out of the faucet, like, because I don't know. I never really did that.
Filter crazy. I know.
Filter the water.
Yeah.
And
I have well water now, so like we do filter a lot.
Yeah.
You want to,
So we do
you
filter.
do want to filter it. Yeah.
yeah.
We do buy bottled water sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. I would not. I can't imagine any of my boys going to like the gas station, like stopping at Sheetz on the way home from a game, and then being like, "I want to get a bottle of water."
Yeah.
They're
No,
gonna,
I don't want the Coca-Cola. Give
Yeah.
me the bottle.
Yeah.
of water.
No Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Well, Vogue says, on the other hand, has argued that Wall Street Journal is wrong, and the drink of the summer is banana milk coffee.
That
What?
sounds horrible.
Is like,
The
is that on anybody's radar?
I've
Banana milk coffee.
Man, no,
Hmm.
nope.
No.
I mean, I feel like iced coffee's gotten really crazy. I feel like everybody has iced coffee now.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm assuming that's an ice version of that for the summer.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What is banana milk?
Banana milk. What is banana
What's
milk?
Banana milk.
I guess just a banana flavored milk. Or is
I
it?
hope
you know,
so.
Is it milk and you add a banana and they mix it? And
Like, why is that
No,
a
people are
special
milking
thing?
bananas now.
Is,
What are they? Pureed banana?
is there a
in
thing?
your
Is there
coffee?
banana milk? Like, can you buy banana milk?
I mean,
I've
Blend of-
never.
Turner's has banana flavored milk, or has in the past, but it's not like something commonly I can think of at the store.
No. I
It
don't know
could
if
be
I've
good
seen
ice.
that. Like,
It could be good iced. I'm gonna have to try that.
I
Yeah.
mean, that wouldn't be bad in
Hmm.
like a frappuccino. Like, blend up a banana and.
That actually
Ice.
sounds good.
I mean, yeah, but like not as like your creamer. It's not
As a
something.
coffee.
Yeah, coffee. That's gonna be an interesting mix.
So now we have to go.
Smoothie in my head, but no,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
actually coffee.
Coffee.
I
No,
don't know
that
what
says
that's.
coffee. It does not
Hmm.
say smoothie.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try this now. Vogue
Yeah.
says this is the drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm go-
Maybe it's not made it to Pittsburgh yet.
Yeah.
The drink for our family this summer has been, at least for me and Jess, has been someone gave us an espresso machine.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So we've just been doing the double shot espresso, and you throw it over ice. And I've been doing oat milk and a little bit of oat milk brown sugar creamer, and that's
That
been
sounds
really good.
Really?
That's been really good. The oat milk does have sugar in it, so I've been thinking about trying just almond milk, because you get almond milk that's unsweetened, but oat milk's a little bit more creamier than almond milk.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well that's going to work, but that's been our drink. I'm thinking, do I need to throw a banana in that now? Maybe.
Oh.
Now you didn't you do like for a while you cut back coffee drinking for a long
I
time.
did. I'm back.
You're back, okay. All right, I didn't know if that. You
I
did
was
for-
taking days off, but
Yeah.
now I'm back.
I was gonna say you're like no coffee, and now I'm going to double espresso.
That's just the weekend. That's just for the weekend.
Okay.
Just for the weekend, yeah.
I'm 2
Yeah.
cups of coffee every day. I tried not doing that, and it's just I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Black coffee, just
Yeah.
plain black. That's just
I do. It would be 2 large cups of coffee, or just like one in my really big mug that I carry all over the place, or my Yeti, I guess.
your Yeti. So I
And-
was gonna ask, are you a Stanley person? Do you
Mm,
carry?
It's a Yeti, just
Yeti.
because that's what was given to me. I don't.
Yeah.
I have my water is a fake Stanley. I don't have the real Stanley. But
Okay.
I just do some half and half of my coffee, and I carry a big water thing around with me.
I probably should get on the water side of things. I don't. I should.
I usually always walk in here with 2 very large travel things. One really large Yeti with coffee and one really fake Stanley with water in it.
Well, my suggestion is if you know or if you experienced or you like to make the banana milk coffee, bring one in Sunday morning and I'll try it.
Yeah.
Or one of us will try it.
Okay.
And we'll see if it is worthy of the hottest drink of the summer.
I think we need to do a team meeting. We need to go get
Just
coffee
get it.
and see.
Like, do they have that at Starbucks?
I don't know.
don't
I've
know.
never heard of this.
Watch, we're going to see it everywhere.
I
though.
know. I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to go away because pumpkin spice is back.
It will be.
I see all the pumpkin
Strong.
stuff.
Coming
is-
in strong.
Yeah. Early.
Yeah.
So we got to hurry up.
We're not far from September, though.
No, we're not.
Well, 2 more. So this one's called Churned to Perfection. What it is, butter is the new black. According to moms on TikTok who are referring to a spontaneous low-stakes parenting style as the 90s butter mom sensibility.
Wait, what?
Where is this going, right?
Go along here.
So why it's summing up the summer? The term butter mom. So this is a term butter moms. All right. The term butter moms was minted in response to the viral almond mom, a term for moms who grew up fixated on small portions, who are now passing on disordered eating patterns to their kids. A butter mom is positioned as the opposite of that, infusing life with flavor and encouraging to take a second helping.
Amen.
There are currently thousands of posts on TikTok diving into the trend, and the butter mom has become one of the main aspirational characters of the summer. Teens wish they had a butter mom. And
Wait.
I just
Okay. First of all, I love it. All right, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this. What was an almond mom? An almond mom was
I'm guessing the opposite. So they were, you know, if you're drinking almond milk because you don't want to add on the weight or the, I don't know,
okay. So
Small
right?
portions.
small portions and
everyone was really like, I mean, I kind of saw
Obsessed over portions.
portions and like the types of things kids were eating and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think
Yeah.
there's a reality that's good,
Yeah.
but I love the idea of the butter mom idea because that's just good life. That's why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, to a point. I don't
So
know.
do you say this like okay? So
I don't
if a
know.
kid comes over and says like to my wife like you're a butter mom.
yeah, right.
Like, I gotta-
At first it's offensive, but now you're like, amen.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. It's like a compliment.
Yes, it is a compliment.
Okay.
I'm trying
So
to figure
so
out where I land.
so Amy, you're gonna have to be yeah. So as your boys start like soccer or whatever they're playing this fall, some of them may say that hey, you're a butter mom,
I
and,
gotta
and you're
strive
not
for
supposed
this.
to be offended by it.
Negative thing to be an almond mom.
It might be. It might be.
How does this pan out? One that I avoid, and I'll just be the old guy sitting on my recliner, just act like I don't hear this.
I have no idea even where to take this. Like, so I don't love even the concept fully of being a butter mom. Just I think very logically, like everything can't be mass proportions. You can't have a multiple of everything. So
True.
But you also don't want to be an almond mom, I guess, where you're just always obsessing about portions and
Yeah.
being too strict for your kids, but you also can't like Gavin asks for ice cream every single day.
That's Jerry too.
He would be game for a sweet at every turn, and
Yeah.
I have to say no. I feel like I say no so much. So on his, I will not be a butter mom for him.
So is the goal to be? You ready for it?
Oh no.
Almond butter.
A butter pecan mom?
I like that. I was gonna go with
Yeah.
almond butter mom.
Or almond butter?
mom.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There you
I'd
go.
be an
There you
almond
go.
butter mom. Butter
Yeah.
pecan.
Yeah, there's got to be a balance.
It has to be a balance.
Because Jerry's the same way. Jerry would eat like gummies and ice cream every meal.
Oh yeah.
And like Jerry's mental way would be like a healthy option is just like pizza. Like that would be his like, well, yeah, I ate healthy. I ate a pizza today. Like that'd be like
yeah.
that would be Jerry.
Yes.
And now on the portion control, I have a 15-year-old now. He eats as much as I do and even more at times. So I almost like the idea that Natalie like cooks extra because then it's just like there's leftovers to eat that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So I think there's a balance to it. You got to
Right.
find the balance
It's
in like all
balance.
things. So, man,
So maybe it's not so much sugar, but yeah, that extra helping, like, or just
Yeah.
throwing butter in everything. maybe
Butter's
And
so
are
they say butter is like actually we need more butter.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Like because everybody uses the fake stuff. It's like no,
No,
use
real
real
butter.
butter.
Yeah, I grew up on
Yeah.
the fake butter, margarine,
Yeah.
and I've a hard switch to real butter.
Yeah.
And it's so much better. Anytime I have the fake stuff, it's like, ugh.
Well, they've gone like in reverse now on like saturated fats. Now they're saying that like especially men need saturated fats, and
Oh,
they used to
okay.
tell like don't eat butter because there's so much saturated fat in it.
They also said not to eat eggs. It's all
It all changes.
it's
Yeah,
all
it's all
changing
changing.
all the time.
So now we're supposed to eat tons of eggs with butter, and
Yeah.
which is great for me. I love that.
All the fat. all
So
the-
so our hearts are going to be better, but
Apparently.
we're going to gain weight. I don't
I don't know.
no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they say don't trust a skinny cook. They say that. So I mean, that's a thing. So
All right, our last one.
all right.
Another maybe controversial one. This one's called "Quiet on the Creek."
Quiet on the creek.
The phrase "quiet on the creek" is a trending catchphrase with a purposefully unclear meaning. Some TikTokers, and they gave an example one, they posted videos where it looks like they're about to explain what the phrase means, but then they pivot to dancing instead. Others in comment sections might say things like, I would tell you the meaning, but I've got to be quiet on the creek. The phrase originated from a song and video from the rapper Saucy Santana. I don't recommend checking him out because I don't know anything about him, but Saucy Santana, who seemed to be referencing literal childhood fishing trips and how not to scare away the fish. Others are also using the phrase to refer to keeping something like a new relationship on the down low. So
Interesting.
if you start hearing the kids saying "quiet on the creek," that gives you a
Get nosy.
little
There's something they're hiding or just not wanting to explain to you.
right. So I think maybe keeping something on the download is probably the way I look at it most, but still a little bit suspicious. Yeah.
I liked the meaning where the rapper came from. I mean, that makes sense. That's like a good.
Yeah.
But now I get it how kids would use it.
Yeah.
Quiet on the creek.
Quiet on the creek.
Quiet on the creek.
Okay.
All right.
Keep an ear out for that.
Interesting.
Okay, next we're going to talk a little bit about my trip to Guatemala. Have you guys ever been to Guatemala?
No.
No.
Never been there.
No. Have you ever been to a Spanish-speaking country before?
No.
I've been to Mexico.
Well,
Yeah.
that counts. Did you take Spanish in high school?
Middle school and high school,
school.
but I don't.
It didn't work
Did
out for you
not-
in Mexico?
It did not help me in any way.
Yeah, I took in high school and college I took Spanish. So going to Guatemala, I felt a little bit confident, but what I realized was as I was in the middle of having conversations and everything, I realized I'm too old. So because that was like over 20 years ago. So the things that I wanted to say, it was like too far back in my brain. I'm like, it's there. I just can't. I just can't put it all together. But then there were some things that surprised me. And I was like, how did I do that? How do I know that? And it worked out. So, but Guatemala, it was a really good trip. And we, I went with, if some of you guys know Dr. Theron, and he just walked past our window, our door there. But Dr. Theron and my son, Samuel, who's 10, he got to go with us. And we went for a week. And we got to help build some houses. We got to deliver food to families where the houses, the ministry called Mission Discovery, that's the ministry that we went through as we went to Guatemala, and they build houses in the community, in a poor community. And what we did is we bought groceries and was able to pass that out to the other families who lived around the new house that was being built. And I remember the first house that we actually went to. There was like this woman who was like watching us and walking by as we were like kind of building the house, and I noticed her because she had like these kids just like marching behind her like all around. And I was just like, all right, that's odd. Maybe it's her brothers and sisters and everything. But we actually went to the house to give them groceries, and actually it was the mom of the household. And in Spanish, we asked her like, how many kids do you have? And she said 19. She had 19
That's
kids.
wild.
And she was probably like in her 30s. And she had
How?
19 kids. And our interpreter said that in like the poorer areas there, that's somewhat common also there.
Wow.
So And the house that we walked into, like there wasn't, I didn't really notice any electricity. We walked into their kitchen and it was all dark and we put their groceries there. But it was interesting where they just were very welcoming, happy to have us in their house. Like this is our home. We're proud of this. So Samuel got to see that. We got to pray with them. We went to a couple other houses and got to pray with them and let them know that, yes, we're building this house because we love Jesus and we want to bless you because, you know, we love Jesus. We want you to know who Jesus is. And they were happy to welcome us into their houses. And yeah, they were poor and just a lot of tough things to see. But I think the thing that I really took away from that was that as they asked us to pray for them, they didn't ask for like, oh, I need a bigger house. I need more money. I need all these different things. They just said, we're just praying for happiness.
Wow.
Just happiness. And it just made me see like no matter where you're at across the world, we're all looking for happiness, right?
Yeah.
The one thing. And yes, we know it's only Christ that could truly bring us that. But you know, I think that was really eye-opening for us. And then I think the coolest thing was we got to partner with a school and teach some things there. And these kids were awesome. Like it was a Christian school, and God is making disciples in this school. We thought we were going to go there to help out people and we're going to do these cool things. But no, God taught me that I'm already making disciples. I don't need you, but you can help. You can come alongside and do these things. So these kids, you know, we saw from kindergarten all the way through high school ages. They're God is doing some tremendous work in them, and maybe they'll come to the States and go to college, or maybe they'll stay there and pour into the school there. But I was really so impressed that I would love to possibly have RCKids like partner with some of these kids and sponsor them and their families and help them along and write letters. And eventually maybe we'll be able to visit them at some point. So
Awesome.
yeah, so we're all talking about those different things, but I just thought it was awesome to check that out and for Samuel to see. And I'm like, I want our kids at church to be able to participate in this too, to see. So, and maybe we'll be able to do that in the future because Guatemala was really nice. It was like, it's a third world country, but we felt really safe there and traveling
That's what I was
around.
wondering.
Yeah.
And checking different things. Samuel really liked it because they had glass pop bottles. Samuel had so much sugar on that trip. It was like we've been cutting out on the sugar as he got back because it was like,
Living on it, huh?
Yeah. It was just everywhere and it was cheap.
Easy
it was
to get,
cheap there.
yeah.
So, you know, he could get a big bottle of like Coke for like $1.
Wow.
So, and he tried to bring all those bottles back on the plane and then they didn't let us take it. So he was so upset.
Man.
No, couldn't get one bottle back.
Yeah, no.
No.
How old is Samuel?
He's 10.
Do you think like, because you know I hear people talk about this all the time, like you felt okay taking him, like you think it was good for him, effective for him to be there helping and stuff?
I thought so. I like for a place like that, I would say, I don't know if I'd go younger than 10.
Yeah.
It depends on their maturity and things. And, you know, I thought for Samuel, he just needed to be able to try different foods because I'm like, you have to eat.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I don't want to eat this.
Yeah.
So for the most part, like the meat was safe and he was able to have like chicken and I think even pork we had one time and he ate that and it was fine. But I think just someone like if you go on the younger side of like 10 or 11, just they're able to just face challenges and be able to, you know, not get too overwhelmed. And everybody gets overwhelmed. Like we missed our flight like as we went there. So it was like very, you know, practical things to get overwhelmed with, but we just kind of go with the flow and know that everything's not going to be perfect. But I think I would like if we took a trip to Guatemala, I would say that I would take 4th and 5th graders, obviously if their parents came with them.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good trip.
I love the idea of doing a missions trip like that.
Yeah, I think kids need more of an experience like that because a lot of times we wait till they're in like youth group to do it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of them doing it younger, if it can be safe, obviously.
Safe and then helpful.
Yeah, useful.
They're on the mission.
Yeah. Would you prepare any way different than you went on this one? Was there something you think like as you were there, you're like, man, I should have done this different, or I should have, you know, prepared for this situation a little bit different?
No, I thought that the place the Mission Discovery went with, they prepared us pretty well.
That's good.
I would say that I should have packed different clothes.
Really?
The temperature was great there. Like I don't know if it seemed like it was like their typical summer. It didn't get past 80, and
Oh,
it
wow.
didn't go below
Really?
like 60.
Wow.
And it wasn't humid. Like there was elevation. There was 3 volcanoes there, and one erupted like a week after we came and visited, and we actually went up a volcano. So there was that.
Nice.
But
You had time to have a little bit of adventure.
yeah, so like the Friday there, you work the whole week, but the Friday is a free like
Oh, nice.
type of
That's
Friday.
nice.
So typically they try to have you have like one free fun day to check out different things. The coffee was awesome there.
I can
Guatemala's
believe
a
that.
coffee
Yeah.
place,
Yeah, I just we got like the school there that we partner with to help fundraise. They have their own coffee that they sell. So we
Oh, wow.
we bought a bag, and it was like it's delicious. It was really good coffee.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say when churches just go on mission trips for a week, it's like a run and do. It's mostly just for the church, not for the people you're serving.
Yeah.
Was that different in this situation?
Yeah, so I think like the building houses was really cool, and the people that we're building houses for, like the little kids, they helped us. They were like painting and all
Oh,
that. So
fun.
that was really cool and emotional. But that was kind of like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
But like the school stuff, like yeah, that's something they want to build relationships on. And even I know that Pastor Jeremiah and Raphael and Dr. Leo, they went too, and they have their, and Dr. Leo has his own type of ministry that he's involved with. But it's very similar concept to where I think they're trying to build relationships there. So
Yeah.
so I think hopefully
Ongoing.
as a church, we'll start hearing more about these opportunities to visit, and Lord willing, yeah, we're able to, whether it's on our own or through a ministry, we're able to just partner and build relationships.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the plan, if we want to make disciples, it's not just to drop in and be like, hey, we did this, we're Americans, we're cool, and then drop
Yeah,
out.
it's
No, to build relationships. We can
Yeah.
learn from each other and help each other.
And partner with people who are on the ground there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Oh, one thing I would change, I would learn a little bit more Spanish.
A little more Spanish, okay.
I would just brush up on it a little bit more, because there was, some of it was tough. And because I'm a little bit darker skinned, they just thought I was Guatemalan.
Guatemala.
You know.
You could pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But really cool stuff. The Guatemalan people are awesome. I never saw, even, they were so aggressive drivers, but the nicest aggressive drivers. Like they were so nice about it. They never beeped their horn in aggression. It was always like, hey buddy, I'm here. I'm passing you. You need to speed up, but it was like so nice. So I love them, and yeah, we hope to go back again. Samuel was like, can I please go back next year?
Oh,
that
that's
was really
awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
How was the atmosphere around being American? Were they like
Yeah, that's fine.
excited, or was there like
Yeah.
any negativity towards that?
I mean,
at
I
all?
think they see, like, because there was some tourism there, so they see us as like, hey, you help put food on my family's table. So they were very, very
That's
kind, and
that's good.
didn't pester us too much. But yeah, it was a good experience.
That's good. That's good to hear. I'm excited. That's a great It sounds like a great trip and a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
And if Samuel enjoyed it, that's even better. That's just awesome, because I've often wondered that, to do like a short-term trip with
Yeah, right.
like Jerry or something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
So as we were like doing that, it made me think that yes, we want to be living on mission more, like just even in the RCKids ministry. So that's why, we've had some people just have the interest of starting like the RCKids on missions, and we've done
Yes.
that type of project. We've done 2 projects so far. So it seems like things are coming together where we're like, yes, we want our kids, we want our families to grow up and just to be living on mission. So I did want to talk about that, because we've been talking about our discipleship process as a church through the month of August. And yes, we want to glorify God by making disciples. And we say that a disciple looks like someone who practices what Jesus practiced. So someone who practiced truth, worship, community, and mission. And just a plug for we're going to have discipleship classes coming up in September and October. So hopefully you'll see some of that. And we're going to be walking through those truth, worship, community, mission. It's not just going to be like, I think sometimes we could look at it like, oh, we're going through the discipleship process. It's going to be boring. And we're like, I'm working on it. We're digging in some really, I think, deep stuff that's going to be really cool. It's going to be for people who are mature Christians or baby Christians, that I think you guys are going to go through these classes and be like, this is awesome, and really be even more on fire for God and want to teach other people just the things that we're learning. So it's not just things that we already know. We're just going to dig deep into scripture and talk about, like, what does it mean to walk, just build our lives upon God's word, and why we can trust God's word. But I could keep talking about that, but to keep this short, the main thing is I want to talk about mission, because yes, we want to live on mission for Christ. And so when we talk about our discipleship process, as far as living on mission, that means that we want to engage in God's world. Because it's easy, especially for me as an introvert, to not want to engage with the world, to just keep it to myself and just and not get involved. But no, God, he calls us to engage in his world. And I see this, like one of our main scriptures that we talk about as far as missions is 2 Corinthians 5. And so Paul, he says that in verse 17 says, this means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old is gone and a new life has begun. And all of this is a gift from God, who brought us back to himself through Christ. And God has given us the task of reconciling people to him. So that's our job. He has given us the task of, as we've been reconciled with God, we are to go and reconcile other people to him. For God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself, no longer counting people's sins against them. And he gave us this wonderful message of reconciliation. So that is our job, to reconcile the world to him. He uses us to do that. And then it ends in verse 20, and I love this. So we are Christ's ambassadors. So if we're an ambassador, like, how would you define that? What is an ambassador?
I'd say an ambassador, you carry the authority. When you talk about like political ambassadors, they carry the authority of their country with them, and they can speak on behalf of that. And when I hear that we're, an ambassador of Christ, where we carry the authority that God says that we have when we go to the ends of the earth, baptizing people in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I think normally that would be something to be rejected. Like, you can't do that. That's only God was able to do things like that. And now, we're given this task to go out and have that authority. And I think that's a big part of the Christian struggle, is we don't remember that we have that authority, that we can go. That's why it's so important to say, I'm doing this in the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah. And I think we forget that part of it a lot of times, is we have the authority. So
yeah, it's there's a part of, like, we have the power, like authority, but also it's representation too. Yeah. Because it makes me think of, like, when we went to Guatemala, and Dr. Theron, he's been there like 5 or 6 years in a row. So he was just telling us everything that we need to do. And he said, and make a copy of your passport, because if you lose your passport, then it's easier for you to go to the U.S. Embassy and get your passport. So you think of, if things go wrong while you're in a different country, if things went wrong while we were in Guatemala, that I knew that actually we had a representation of home, U.S. Embassy, as we had the U.S. ambassador who's going to be there, who's there for us, representing, you know what I mean? Like, you were literally, actually, as you step in that embassy, like stepping foot into the United States of America, right? Yeah. So that's just a great example of what it's like for us to be Christ's ambassadors, right? Whereas if we are Christ's ambassadors, if we're not engaging with the world, then how's the world going to know who Christ is?
Right.
Exactly.
But because we're his ambassadors, we get to show him who Christ is. And that's how, God, he can just show up. And there's stories of that. You'll see him just showing up, like maybe in people's dreams, or talking to people. You hear them seeing angels, there's things like that goes on. Yeah. But his main tool for spreading the gospel is he uses us to be ambassadors and to engage in the world. So it's important for us, yes, as Christians, to engage in the world. But as on the RCKids podcast, we want to talk about families. How can we teach that to our families, to do that as a family? Because that can be tough, right? We have so many things going on. It's busy. It's like, no, not another thing, right? Right. But it's an important thing to add to the rhythms of our family's lives. So let's just talk about that. What are some things that maybe you have done as a family to live on mission, some things that's worked or hasn't worked?
I feel like sometimes it's just a part of your life and how you communicate with your kids. One story that came up when I was thinking about this is the boys wanted to do a lemonade stand recently. And when we were planning it out, I was like, hey, let's have a speaker. We can play K-Love or some music on there. And Tristan was concerned. He actually was like, well, what if that music deters people from wanting to come to my lemonade stand? Because, if they're not Christian, they might get upset. And, apparently I did this the more complicated way, because Tyrus was like, well, you could have just said, do you get upset when people play regular music? And I mean, that would have been a pretty straightforward way to talk about it. But I was like, well, no, like, we're not yelling at the people. And I got kind of theatrical and was like, we're not yelling at them and saying, you're going to hell because you don't love Jesus. We're not with this music. It's just something quiet, but it's positive, and it's speaking about Jesus in the background. And you guys are sweet, and you're being polite and you're representing your, with your behavior, you're representing Christ. So it's a good thing. It's a way to put the name of Jesus in their ears in a gentle way alongside with the way you're acting.
Yeah.
So if they're hearing it just with you around, maybe it'll start a conversation. Maybe it'll just put something in their head. And so we just kind of had a little conversation, and that made him he was excited about that. Oh, I love that idea. Because if you know Tristan, he's not an in-your-face person.
No.
He's a very subtle and thoughtful kid. So that was kind of just something that happened sort of recently that was about just how everything you do can represent Christ and be a little bit of a mission on mission.
That's good.
Yeah, I think kind of Amy's point is just living that way is a lot of times people, when they talk about Christianity, they think it's like a facade or something, or you do, or even ministry, for example, is this, you're a job and you put a different jacket on and you're a different person, when the reality is the way we live is the ministry. And I tell people a lot of times that Christianity is a way of life. You live this way. You actually, you're in day, and from the beginning of the moment you wake up to the end of the day, you're supposed to live a certain way, and that's how people see that you live differently. I think a lot of it's the little things. I think most people think when they go into you say living on mission, they think packing everything up, going somewhere, and I think those are good things.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should experience some level of that, because that's a different way of trusting God, that we're not normally used to. But I think living on mission is day-to-day stuff. So where people see us walking in patience when other people aren't patient. I think walking in kindness when other people aren't being very kind.
Right.
Turning away from certain things that most people hey, this is really fun and interesting and intriguing, and people are focused on that thing, whatever it might be. But at that moment showing, hey, I got to turn from that and live a different way, where people see that. Most times it's not a rushing of people being wow, you did this thing and I'm going to turn my life over to Christ. Most people, I think they see that day in and day out, your life is a little bit different. You seem to have a little more peace. You seem to have a little more control. You seem to have a little bit more just joy. And I think most people, kind of the prayers you said, those people in Guatemala, people are people looking for happiness.
Mm-hmm.
If we can exude that, if we can show that we live that way, I think that's what living on mission is just, what do they have that I don't have? And then I think that just leads into people start asking, and then I think that's where you kind of start getting people through that step and getting them to church, getting them into programs and things, and in those friendships and things like that.
Now, I think some parents will hear engaging with the world, and all of a sudden be afraid because the world, it's sin, it's bad, we don't want anything to do with the world. And in a way, I understand that, and there's things that we don't want to associate ourselves. But in thinking about this, I also wrote I think of 1 Corinthians 5, where Paul talks about just you may remember this. He says, I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sin, but I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in it, or are greedy, or cheat, or cheat people, or worship idols. And he says you would have to leave this world to avoid people like that. Yeah. And I always like thinking about that of, he doesn't say that, he was don't associate with those people, just meaning that as far as and I think he was really talking about in the church, because if they're actively sinning, then we don't want to associate with them if they're calling themselves Christians.
Right.
But the point of there is that as far as the sinful, wicked, evil world, in order for us to not engage with it, we would actually have to leave the world, because you can't avoid it. So as parents, yes, we want to keep our kids safe, and we want to protect them, and that's going to look different for people's in their different situation. And we talked about before, whether it's guarding them in music or in school or in sports, or whatever it is, God's leading you to do those things. But the point is, but if we get to a point where we try to avoid all of the world and just to protect them, we're actually not doing the mission that God has called us to do. So yes, I do those things that you said, like a yard sale lemonade stand type of thing. That's very purposeful, intentional thing, because who can resist a kid selling lemonade, right?
Yes. They know
Even if
the
they're
best way to make
blasting
money.
Forrest Frank or whatever it is, they don't like it. They're going, but you better have some good lemonade,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Let's all right. Let's be true, good representatives of Christ, and don't give them some poor lemonade, all right?
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, simple things like that too. Like, you don't have to do crazy things, but we can think of intentional things of getting involved in our neighborhood, whether it's a yard sale, and especially and I love how you guys, both of your families do it, where yes, homeschool, and then for Amy and then Josh, you guys do cyber school, and there's different interactions and everything. But I love that your kids are involved with sports, and that's the same thing we do with our kids, whether if they were going to public school or homeschool. Like, we get involved with sports, and especially it's important for me because I don't get to interact with a lot of people like in the real world,
Yeah.
So sports is a great way. Community sports is a great way to do that, where I have relationships because of my kids' sports. And same thing with your guys' kids.
Right.
They have relationships with people in the world in a little bit more controlled environment because of sports. So yes, there's different ways for us to do those sort of things. And I'm sure, it's not all positive. There's things that we live in a sinful world, and they're going to hear and see things. But I'm sure you've seen a lot of positive stuff that's coming out of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I know for David, and we've talked about this before, that his nickname on his Badgers team last year, he was preacher, because he was
that.
Yeah, he was, and then and to the point where at the end of the season, or before every game, his team would be praying with him, and he would lead his team in prayer. And it was
so
really cool. Like the last 2 games, there was a kid who through the season was questioning him about praying and about actually talking to God. And at the end, he's like, "Hey, can I lead us in prayer?" And I was like, and I honestly do believe that sports is really hard, because I've been through this, where it can become an idol in your life and you have to be careful. But it is such an absolute amazing opportunity to reach people, because between the kids and their teammates, they create these awesome bonds between one another. It's like a different version of a brotherhood. They just, it's a battlefield for them out there, and they really get close together, and they have that time as they get older in the locker rooms and things like that, where they're sharing things they might not tell other people. For Natalie and I, we talk a lot about that. Those parents, you spend so much time with those parents that it becomes like another family. And it's you hear, you're sitting in these bleachers for hours on end, and they're doing practices, and you start talking about a lot of the day-to-day stuff. And it's a huge opportunity to help people, to talk with people, to get involved. I know this is always tough for people because we are so busy, but inviting some of those people over for dinner is a great way to get involved in people's life. I mean,
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of gotten away from that in society, where we don't have I really feel like that was kind of like the beginning of the church. In the beginning was having people over for dinner, and that was how ministry started.
Yeah.
Inviting those people over, from kids sports teams, or your daughter's dance teams or cheerleading teams and other things, is just a huge way to open the door to build those relationships with people. And it's good though to be normal in society, because if you're crazy out there and you're the screaming dad or the mom who's flipping out on the umpire, and they might not be as willing to come over and then listen to you.
We have to be ambassadors out there.
Actually, with the right kind of way.
Yes. I mean, I'm not perfect. I've had my moments where things have happened. I might have yelled something, but just be mindful of that, because when you're a child of God and you're professing that, you're kind of on the clock all the time when you're out there, and you got to remind that you're representing that, and people are going to ask man, you're holding it together way better than we are, and it's just they want to know where that comes from, and it's a huge door opening. So I agree. The sports teams is huge. It's been probably the biggest avenue of ministry for my family in the past 3 years. So outside of helping in kids' church.
So that's hopefully the challenge for you families out there. How can you engage in the world with your family, and whether it's sports or there's always different types of activities. It's, hang out at the library. I don't care what it is. Walk around at the mall. It's just something that you can engage in the world. And I would say the biggest thing I've learned is that Sometimes we can do that, and then we just want to expect like instantly like things that happen,
Oh no.
and that doesn't happen really in the real world. Sometimes God will do something miraculous where you do something one time, and then you know, like you invite people to church or you share the gospel. But you know, for us, we've seen over this past year, we've had a lot more gospel conversations than we could ever imagine, and it's taken 3, 4, 5 years of investing in relationships for that to happen. Because what you end up seeing happening is like people, they hear that you're a Christian and everything, they're like, all right, that's fine. All right, you're not preaching about Jesus all the time, so you're cool. You know, you can hang with us. But just being a good example and investing in them and just showing God's love is so important, because what happens is eventually we live in a broken world. Like something bad's gonna happen, right? Just something, whether it's tragic or people are going through hard times, and it's in those moments usually we see them turn to the Christian saying, hey, you know, can you pray for me? And so like I said, we've seen that. So don't like, and yes, invest in your communities and engage in the world, but don't just expect like things are going to instantly happen. No, it's God's working. You can trust that, and just continue investing in those relationships. And I think just and keep praying. Say, God, just we pray for gospel conversations, and maybe it's going to take a few years, but it'll happen.
Yeah, I always tell people that a lot of times, like, being a Christian is like being medicine in a cabinet. You know, you don't go and take Tylenol every day and saying, oh, I'm taking Tylenol so I don't get a headache. You know, it's there so the day that you get a headache or you have pains, it's there and you go to it.
Yeah,
that's how we are at times. We're, like you said, you have those relationships, and you're gonna get that phone call late one night, like, hey, I'm going through something, and I've heard you say that you're a Christian, you believe, and I need help, and you're like that medicine on the cabinet where they finally open it up and they're ready to take some of the medicine. And it, most times over the years in ministry, it is usually the long process. Like you said, it's more rare that it's a miraculous somebody walks in. I can think of maybe 2 times ministering in Missouri where somebody walked in, it was like, heard the message and they just turned their life over, and it was like a miraculous moment. Mm-hmm. That is the rarity. That's and you usually don't know all of the backstory behind it until way down the road, what led them to get to that point. But it's usually the long haul, and there's a lot of discipling going on before they even get to that point where they ask, where they're starting to hear and listen. And so I agree. It's don't get upset that it doesn't happen overnight or in a week or even a year, So
be a good example and invest, and so that people know that whenever there's issues, whenever they're worried, concerned, that they know they can turn to you or your family, and because there's hope. We have the hope of Jesus, and I think that's so important.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what's happening in RC Kids. In August, we are wrapping up the big inning as we started in our Bright curriculum. So that's our 2 and 3-year-olds, pedal jumpers, all the way through higher ground, our 2nd and 3rd graders. Bright curriculum restarts the Bible in August. So we went through the Bible from August all the way through July, and now in August 2026 we jump back into Genesis. And we've been talking about creation and Adam and Eve and sin and the Tower of Babel. And then when we jump into September, the series is called Rock Solid, and we're going to be going through Genesis and some stories in Exodus. We'll be talking about Jacob's dream, Joseph and his brothers, and then start talking about Moses and the burning bush in the wilderness. So some really like just fun, exciting stories to talk about, but important truths. The biblical theme for the month is God is unchanging. So yes, so just important truths to be talking about God as we walk through these stories. And then speaking of living on mission, we have our RC Kids mission team. They have a project. When is the next one, Amy?
It's mid-October, around Serve Week.
Okay, so around Serve Week, and we'll have the information out in the RC Kids newsletter, and so that everybody knows exactly how to get involved with that. So we're excited for that and what God is doing through RC Kids on mission. We also have our Saturday services are starting on September 26th.
Oh, yep.
So we are excited for that. And the plan is to have all RC Kids classrooms open on Saturday and Sunday morning. And we'll do the same thing for Summit. So for our 4th and 5th graders, we'll have all of the classrooms open. And if you do have a kid in Summit, starting on that Saturday, September 26th, because we'll have more space since we'll have 3 services, we will have the Summit kids. They'll go back into the worship center with their parents and they'll worship together by singing. And then at the beginning of the summer, they'll get dismissed and go to Summit for the sermon, and you'll pick up your kids in the Summit classroom. So that will be a new change.
Yes.
And I'm excited to have the kids back in there for worship. And yeah, I think that'll be really good. So we're really looking forward to that. If you don't serve in RC Kids and you're interested in serving, then come let us know, because we love to get you involved and to help with those Saturday or Sunday morning services. But some really good big changes, and I think there's going to be just new families showing up on Saturday evening. So I'm really excited to see how that all happens. It's I don't know if you've experienced this, but as I've talked to people, whether through sports or other various channels, of asking them about church, and they usually they'll say, all right, we'll think about coming. But as I've had those conversations, I said, actually, we have one starting in September on Saturday. And all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I think I can make that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so the trend is I think people just don't want to come to church because they don't want to get up on Sunday mornings.
They don't want
right?
to get up. They like sleeping in. Yeah.
I've had people straight up tell me that is my only day to sleep in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
And
I've had that too.
it's a hard way to be like, well, give that up.
I know.
It's a hard one there. But yeah, I've the same thing. I've told people we have Saturday night coming in. They're like, that actually works for me. So
Yeah.
So I do believe, we're going to see, there's going to be some of our families are going to move over to Saturdays, but we're going to see a lot of new families come in.
That'll be
and,
great.
And be a part of that. And then the last thing I'll say is RC Kids Family Night. That's happening on Friday, November 13th.
Yep.
So that's just an opportunity for the families to come together in the worship center with their kids. And we put on just like a mini version of what happens on a Sunday morning in RC Kids.
Yes.
So we have fun and games. We'll have a lesson. And then, of course, at the end, we have our ice cream Sunday buffet, whatever you want to call
Social.
it.
Yeah. All you can eat ice cream.
So be on the
What
lookout
you
for
let your
that.
kids do.
And we hope to see all families for that, as we have a blast doing that each and every year. And the last thing, we do have Truth Trackers, which is our second year of doing that. That starts on Wednesdays, starting in August, going all the way through October. So Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And we have about 40 kids signed up for that already. So if you're interested in that, I don't know if the signups are still out there, but you can come talk to me and we could get your kids added to that, because we have over 40 kids that we're going to be able to pour into every Wednesday, and that's really exciting.
Yeah,
That's great.
So really looking forward to that. As we have a lesson, we have fun snacks and activities and everything. So it'll be really fun to start Truth Trackers again. And our last thing is recommendations. We made it. We're at the recommendation stage.
Recommendation.
All right. So did any of you guys have any recommendations?
I have a couple, so I'll kick off one. I'm gonna go with one. Actually, what we had lunch today.
Ooh.
That was actually really good today, Sam. That was a good one. Do
Do you remember what it was called?
Pen gyro and
Kebab? Yeah.
Kebab.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good. We got like a gyro bowl.
It was like a bowl.
It's a gyro bowl.
A gyro bowl.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Recommended highly. That was, you start saying gyro, you don't know where you're going to be at in the food level there, but it was really good. So
it's next to the miniature golf place in Monroeville.
Yeah.
Where Dairy Queen used to be.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a go-to. It's really good. I a couple weeks ago I had to do, all right, this is going to be awkward, but I had like a medical procedure, okay? And I had to fast, okay? So I had to fast for a whole day and a half. And then, so Jesse was like, what meal do you want afterwards? And I was like, I want that. And it was so good. Like, I was so hungry. And that thing, it hit so, oh man, it was amazing. And you can either get lamb or chicken. You don't have to go lamb if you don't.
Lamb was good. I had lamb today. It was really good.
So, really good. Really good. Good. Amy, any recommendations?
I had one book that I've read a good chunk of. I haven't read the whole thing, but I also have listened to the author's podcast regularly. It's called Raising Emotionally Strong Boys. It's by David Thomas. He is a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and he's just has a ton of good information to help with just boys, not just like little kids, but all the way up into middle school and high school.
That's good.
It's always great. He always said, starting young is easier to help create patterns of healthy responses to big feelings like anger and stuff like that. And there's like even a kids book for the kids to go through. I would say it's probably, I was listening to this book and I bought the physical book because I wanted to be able to take notes.
Okay, wow.
So that's why I only made it so far, because I was like, I want to both be able to see it, highlight it, and listen to it at the same. That's how I read really well. But I also bought the kids version of this, like a journal for the kids to read. And I mean, listening through it, I can see both of my boys in different ways in all the different things he was talking about. And it's also about kind of training the parents, which is also a thing. So I look forward to keep going through this book, but I definitely recommend it, especially people with boys.
Awesome.
So what was it called again?
It is Raising Emotionally Strong Boys.
Okay. Yeah,
Good.
that's great. A couple of my recos is I think the last one I was just talking about movies. So I did see the Odyssey, and
So what's your rating on the Odyssey?
Odyssey, I gave it like a 7.5, 8. I thought it was really good.
Because you were hyped about.
Yeah,
this
I was
one.
really hyped.
Yeah.
I didn't love Matt Damon in it, and who's the guy who plays Spider-Man? He was in it. He was Matt Damon's son.
There's so many Spider-Mans now.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
though.
I know who.
Yeah. But he was in it, and it was good. Like maybe because I knew the story already, I wasn't like as like excited through it. But there was some really cool stuff, and yeah, I didn't think there was really too like anything like inappropriate or anything. It was just a good story, good movie.
Okay.
But I saw the new Spider-Man, and that was way better.
Really?
I loved Spider-Man, the new one. It was so good. It was really good. It made me laugh. It made me want to cry. I didn't cry. I don't really cry too much. But if I was a crier, it would have made me cry. I thought it was just a complete movie where Spider-Man did some really cool stuff, and then there was the relationships, like emotional tug on it, and then like plot twist and all that. It had it all. Okay. So I thought Spider-Man, I forget what the new one's called, but I thought it was really good.
What about age appropriate for either of those?
Age appropriate, I would say that all of my kids, they all saw it, but of course my kids go to public school, so that's why like it's a little different for us, because the things they hear and see on that, it's like they've experienced it all.
Right.
That actually leads me to another recommendation. I may have said this already, but one thing that I use as far as movies is because like it's all different for each family, but I use something called Common Sense.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you ever
I
heard of that?
talked about this. Yeah.
So I think I did recommend it before, but there's an app, and basically it gives you, it doesn't really spoil the movie for you, but it kind of gives you everything that you would think is possibly inappropriate, and the things that talk about, cuss words and subjects and everything. And so that you feel confident you can make a choice whether this would be good for our family or not. So yeah, Spider-Man movies, there's always a little bit of cussing. Sometimes Spider-Man, he takes his shirt off, so it's like it's like, so I'm like, yeah, we don't need that,
If you go to the beach,
right, exactly. But for the most part, I recommend it. So, any other recommendations?
I got one more. First, Sam, I don't cry a lot of movies. I did watch a Toy Story 5 and almost cried.
Really?
It was a little emotional at the end there. I was
They're always like a tug on your heart, though.
They had it going on this last one. It was a little.
I haven't. I can't. I will probably see it whenever it comes on like Disney Plus. We'll watch it, but
it's good. It's a good one.
It's just too many.
Yeah,
too many.
There is so many. But
I don't know if I've seen them all.
Matthew loves Toy Story.
Yeah,
that
good.
is just his thing.
Good.
But close. It was close. I was like, oh man, this is somewhere here. But and then I cried in Notebook. If you remember that movie.
That's an easy tearjerker.
I'm okay saying that out loud.
It's just like my Vanessa Carlton music that I listen to, or I used to listen.
And I cried the movie Fury and I was watching it on an airplane, which made it even worse. I'm literally sitting there trying to shield my eyes and stuff. And that last scene in the tank, and they start quoting scripture. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be crying on this airplane. But
I can't watch stuff that like if something happens to kids or parents,
Nat's that way too.
or like if a parent dies or something like that.
Yeah, I
Like I
can't.
just, you know,
Nat just
I
goes, nope,
can't.
shut it off.
Yeah,
She can't do
this
it.
is-
She's that way.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But my recommendation, this is another food one, and you guys probably see like when like firemen are selling subs.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I don't know who they're getting their subs from for like $10 or $11 is what they're selling for, and they're phenomenal.
Okay.
Oh,
And
really?
they're 18 inches
Really?
for like $10, and they're like this
Really?
big.
Huge.
They're huge. Well worth every penny that and I've done it like 3 times now just because it's such a good deal and they taste really good.
Yeah.
All right.
And so for like, $30, I can feed my whole family on them. So,
Nice.
so don't be scared of the fireman subs when they're trying to, they want you to stick money in the boot to get a sub or whatever. Go do it. It's absolutely worth it. So that's my other recommendation.
Last-
I'm
oh, you
sorry.
have one
I
more?
have
Go
one
ahead.
more thing.
No,
I
go.
wanted to clarify. Last time I was on here, I recommended Adventures in Odyssey.
Yeah.
But I want to let you know it has nothing to do with the Odyssey movie. There's no
No
connection.
There's no
No
connection.
No connection whatsoever. The little town is called Odyssey. It's in the middle of America.
It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
It is
If
so
you have no reference point, just know it has nothing to do with the Odyssey
has
movie.
nothing to
Absolutely
do
nothing. Yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
No, it's fantastic.
Your wife is the one who like pointed that out. I was
Did
like,
she?
no.
All right. Last thing I have is we did this summer. We went to Busch Gardens. I don't think I talked about that, but we loved Busch Gardens. So if you're thinking about a trip like in the fall or next summer, and maybe I would say this: if you're like, we want to go to Disney, but we haven't been able to make it yet, and your kids, like, I think they have to be like of like grade school age. The sweet spot's probably like 4th grade, but Busch Gardens, I actually liked Busch Gardens just because, I mean, it was cheaper, but like the experience, I liked it better than my Disney experience.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Have you been to Busch Gardens?
I did in like high school.
High
A
school?
long time ago.
Yeah.
So like some of it is the same where it's themed.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. Like we went during the World Cup, so we walked through the England section, and there were like people with England like jerseys on, and they're going to watch the World Cup game. So as you go through like each section of the amusement park, like it is themed according to different countries, and you actually have food there from different countries that you could buy. So actually you get a feel and a vibe, and the sound and everything of different countries like Germany and Italy and all those different things. So that alone I thought was really, really cool. But the rides, like if you like roller coasters, like there were some for like they're really crazy if you really love roller coasters, and some basic ones that my kids, they didn't really, they were kind of hesitant on them, but they end up loving them. So I thought Busch Gardens was a great family experience. It like we had a blast, and I can't wait to do it again and ride on the roller coasters. Like there were legitimately like roller coasters I could ride on with just about all my kids. And we had so much fun. Although we did go on a wooden roller coaster with Isaiah who's going into 2nd grade. I was like, hey buddy, it's a wooden roller coaster, you're gonna be fine. And there was a picture, you know how they take the pictures? You don't want to see this picture of Isaiah's face. He did not enjoy it. Dad lied. It was not fine. It was not okay. So we made one mistake.
Okay.
But I highly recommend going to Busch Gardens. It's right next to Williamsburg, so you can kind of do those both. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
There's a trend video that I saw.
Yeah.
You guys need to do with, well, you might not be as mean as I am with your kids, but when you're about to go up on a roller coaster, you need to carry a bolt in your pocket, and when they're going up the big incline, you go like this. I've been watching these videos, and these people lose their mind.
Man, I don't
So-
know if my kids would forgive me for that. Man.
Someday they would.
Someday.
All right. Well, thank you for the recos, and thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.